share to you is about, this is really, as what you can see here in my t-shirt, maybe I'm out of my yeah, because when I came into this church, I made a greatest choice that I made to be here.
Amen.
I've been here in this church, actually living in this church for 6 years.
Wow.
6 years, that's magic. Maybe I'm out of that's what my nephew even told me. However, I have seen a lot of things that's happening in this church. That's the reason I'm still here.
Praise God.
I have seen some prophecy or vision that we made. That's 4 years ago, Pastor Hector and former Pastor Noni. That, this church, 4 years ago, it's not like this. Then we have this kind, and then the members of the church, maybe 20 or 30. And sometimes the praise and worship is already there. You're going to sing, and somebody asks me, where are the people? Where are the only people here? And I've seen Pastor Hector how he struggled. And then he asked me if I can stay in this church for a while, just to watch the property, because it is vandalized. There's some graffiti, there are cutting fences there, and they're throwing a lot of, a lot of things over here. And it took me a month to decide. So I just sleep in my car. And Pastor Hector told me, come on, go inside. No, just sleep in my car. For a month, that's winter time. And rather don't nosy. And then I decided, because I don't want to, take advantage of something that they're offering. So I just endured the winter time, it's cold. And the Pastor Hector said, okay, after a month, I decided, okay, maybe I can stay in this church because I want also to know God in Jesus Christ. Because I was raised in a Catholic family, because in the Philippines, we're all Catholic, 90%. And then I still remember my mother bringing me in the church. That's my first exposure. And then I became an altar boy. When I graduated from elementary, my father decided that I will go in the seminary, minor seminary, because he thinks I'm going to become a priest. To become a priest, Catholic priest, it will take you a long time. If you start from high school, I think it will take you 12 years of study. And us here, it will take us only, 3 years, 3 hours, 2 days, and finally you might become a pastor. And to become a priest, it will take you 12 years. That's a long, and you will be staying in the seminary. You see, it's like and it's also expensive. Not everybody can go to the seminary because you have to pay a lot of money because the board and lodging and everything. Anyway. When I finished my minor seminary, we started 16, we graduated 12, and nobody became a priest actually in my batch. But some become a pastor, some become active in their churches, and now maybe I became doorman for a long time, and now I'm active here in this church, trying to help whatever I can help. And then I have this kind of vision also. That because there's something that I'm doing, because this is United States is what they call the land of opportunity. If you make it here, something you do, you're made. Then I have something that I'm doing that until now I'm still wondering to our Lord, why are you holding me still here? Like, suffering, this and that. But however, while reading the Bible, because I became dormant for a long time, it's only lately that I started reading the Bible. I would like to share something Ecclesiastes chapter 3 that it says here, to everything there is a season and time to every purpose under heaven. So everybody here in this class have a purpose
Amen.
under heaven. Because everybody is unique. Maybe you're good in preaching, maybe you're good on something. My gift is different. I can make something out of something. So, actually when I started really committing myself, I even made that, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever, over there.
Church.
So, I handmade it. Then, I made a cross. And everybody's even laughing when I'm starting to make it. Say, what are you doing? I'm making a cross. What cross? A small cross? No. I crucify you there. It's a big one. So anyway, so that's 2008. And then one thing also that I really love in this place is on a small congregation. And then it's paid off. We don't have any neighbors that's really going to bother you. So I started living in the Airstream, doing some research work. I love it because nobody's bothering me and they think I'm crazy. So anyway, to make the story short, I started also attending the school because I want to learn something. How the church works, what is this they're talking about. So by being dormant for a long time, I started to know Jesus because when Pastor Hector asked me to receive Jesus Christ 2008, he said, you know what? When I pray that you're going to receive Jesus Christ, I don't feel anything. And I told him the same to you also. I did not feel anything. See? Because maybe the seed is there. But you need nourishment to germinate it, to grow little by little. It's not I pray for you, you receive it already. It's not. You have to work for your salvation. You let it grow. You have to nourish it through Scripture.
Amen.
And we have an awesome God.
Amen.
Faith. You see? Because the reason that I'm going to say that we have an awesome God, and Jesus Christ. There's when Jesus Christ was crucified, there's two guys with him. And one said to him, remember me, once you come to your kingdom. You know what he asked? Just to be remembered. But Jesus seen his heart, how sincere he is, his faith. And what he said, Jesus said to him, today you will be in paradise.
Amen.
You see, nothing is too late for us here. That's all I can share.
Pray.
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down.
High prayer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's been very good power.
Food and energy, they're vital to our human existence. But with a growing global population and limited supplies of traditional energy sources, they present the greatest challenges to our survival. Hello, I'm Perry West, CEO of New Global Energy. In a world with increasingly limited land for growing food, we invest in agricultural enterprises that produce the highest possible yield per acre. We also leverage that strength by using the most efficient energy resources on the planet. It's no secret that some of the smartest investors in the world are betting on the development of highly efficient methods of growing food in smaller spaces. People like George Soros, Warren Buffett, and Bill Gates have seen the numbers and added farmland to their portfolios. Here's what they know. The world's population is projected to be 40% higher by 2050 than it is today. That's not far down the road, and yet our farmland is shrinking every year. An estimated worldwide equivalent of 40% of California's agricultural land is lost every 18 months, which will result in a dramatic increase in the cost of food. But there's hope and opportunity. There are methods of farming that can address these frightening numbers and help feed a hungry planet while generating profits for forward-thinking investors. In short, a chance to do well by doing good. In this respect, New Global Energy Business Unit, Aqua Farming Tech, has been at the forefront of developing and implementing the most advanced sustainable methods of producing premium seafood since 1993. Its operations are located just east of Palm Springs in the heart of the Coachella Valley in California. When Aqua Farming Tech started, global aquaculture accounted for less than 10% of seafood consumption. Now it's about 40%. The United States imports about 86% of its seafood, only half of which is wild caught. In fact, what looks like a brilliant idea now had its critics 20 years ago, as our aqua farming manager, industry legend Rocky French explains.
When we started, everybody was thinking that we were crazy because we're trying to build fish farm in the desert. It turned out this is the very best place to start fish farming.
But as ideal as the Coachella Valley is for growing tilapia, this type of farming also has its pitfalls. In California and elsewhere, other fish farms have shut down as a result of 3 persistent issues. We're fortunate that Rocky and the rest of our technical team have met these challenges.
High density type of fish farming, you're faced with like 3 major problems. Electricity, feed, and water. In our case, we're able to mitigate our problem by putting a solar array. We save about, we save about 80 to 90% of our electric bill already. The second issue was water use. And of course, in the farm, we're doing recirculation. We pump the water, it goes into our reservoir, gets cleaned up by the water vegetation. One of the major costs of fish production is feed. We figure that if we could build our own feed mill, design our own feed, and have better control on what type of ingredients that we could put in the feed, this would be a major contribution to the production of good quality, sustainable type of fish.
In addition to producing our own feed, Aquafarming Tech has developed a proprietary fish feeding methodology that is projected to save up to 70% of the overall feed cost. The program involves feeding our fish green algae for the first 4 months in the grow-out ponds. In their natural environment, tilapia, which are vegetarian, feed on nutrient-rich algae and other aquatic plants. This sustainable technique dramatically lowers the feed cost, and the oxygen-producing action of the algae reduces electricity costs by diminishing the need to run mechanical paddle wheels to aerate the water during the day when the electricity rates are at their highest. By successfully solving critical cost issues that confront fish farming in this area, we lead the industry in tilapia farming, and we are in a position to acquire or lease other California fish farms as they have closed. Because Aquafarming Tech has perfected high-density aquafarming, our yields are much higher per acre than traditional fish farming. Most farms yield about 1,200 to 1,500 fish per acre, while we average 30 to 35,000 fish per acre. New Global Energy is capitalizing on the world's critical needs for food and energy solutions at a time of exponential increases in population, growing demand for food, and dwindling farmland. We are playing a key role in the global demand for farm-raised fish. We are developing renewable, sustainable solutions, and we're bringing them to the marketplace. If you would like to learn more about opportunities for joining us on this exciting journey, please contact your broker or call New Global Energy today. I thank you.
Aquaculture is the largest growing segment of food production worldwide, with 50% of all seafood coming from aquaculture.
The problem with growing fish for food, you develop a tremendous ammonia load in the water. This ammonia can become hazardous and it destroys colonies of fish. Ammonia is a byproduct of fish excreting. Extremely small quantities of it can pollute an enormous amount of water.
We just didn't know how big a deal it was to fix ammonia.
Kailangan ma-eliminate agad ang waste dahil maraming laman itong tangke para ma-minimize yung accumulation ng ammonia, nitrite, saka yung mga napapatay sa kanila. Itong circular tank nito, ang kagandahan at advantage nito, yung waste management, especially kung very high ang inyong stocking density. Very efficient to ang waste management ito. Napupunta ho ito sa center pipe. Ayun ho, doon lumalabas yan. Lahat po ng mga tae, lahat ng mga waste materials, lahat po ng mga hindi nakain ng mga feeds, lahat po ng kinain ng tilapia. Yan po pumupunta sa gitnang yan. So this was introduced by Rocky French.
Rocky French is one of those fantastic visionaries who's really done sustainable agriculture for the 21st century.
We set up a whole 50-gallon drum of his ammonia water. We started running this, and the ammonia level dropped, and it dropped again.
He's had this big problem of getting rid of ammonia. In fact, he has this natural pond system that takes him between 6 and 8 weeks to get rid of the ammonia. So he was really, really happy to see that we could do the same process that took him 8 weeks in 30 seconds.
That we've been wanting for since 1970. We already knew our problem way back then.
What we got here is a very exciting moment because it's the very first time that our technology is being showcased in the field at proper scale. There's an opportunity here to do something really big for aquaculture. The Coachella Valley can be a source of organic fish farming, which is not only more valuable, but will set an example for the rest of the world and change perceptions of farm fish.
When Origin Oil came along, we thought that this company could really move us into the next level of fish production.
I'm very pleased that you all came out to see this technology. It's what I call a technology that goes across the boards and it has many, many different applications.
The Q60 is designed to handle two major problems in the fishery industry. In the first instance, the ammonia load, In the second instance, we also want to sterilize the water because we're getting a lot of invasive species into aquaculture that are destroying shrimp farms and fish farms globally. So what we've developed is a system that removes the ammonia that builds up, but also sanitizes the water so you can get rid of the bacterial loads. And the A60 is the new algae harvesting system at a large scale. In aquaculture, this would be a solution to pull algae and pelletize it and make food.
Working with Origin Oil, and they've been doing a great job of creating technologies that are key to the success of the industry.
I am impressed at this technology here.
We are always looking with much optimism to attract technologies and industries that could generate some employment out in these regions, but at the same time, industries that are going to be bringing clean technology.
Origin Oil, thank you for the great work that you're doing here. I think it's amazing. It's impressive. I thought I saw it all. But quite frankly, I have not.
I'm impressed. And I also think it's going to create jobs. And I also think there's a lot of potential for all that to grow here.
I firmly believe that this algae harvester is going to be a game changer in this industry.
Most of the expense ho ng pagtitilapia dito sa Amerika ay napupunta yung 30 to 60% ng expenses, operating cost namin ay napupunta lang sa feeds.
Most of the technology na ginagawa namin ho dito, yun ho ay mga brainchild ni Rocky French.
We are getting our go-to-market engine, and it drove immediate business for us. So this is becoming a pattern, a model, and this was an event that is the kind of thing we're going to be doing much more of.
requires relatively good if not advanced technical know-how, highly skilled workers, good equipment and instrumentations, and a very good financial backup to sustain a high stocking density. Keeping and growing tilapia quite a market size entails a lot of responsibilities, which means an expenditure not only money but also time. Through continuous innovation and research, many problems are solved in the intensive culture system, but greatly affected financially those privately funded commercial developments. Serious efforts towards practical and efficient tank design and understanding harnessing the available natural resources reduce the production costs. Tilapia, native to Africa and Middle East, captured and free since biblical times. In Israel, they are called St. Peter's fish. The ancient Egyptians worked and raised them as source of food. The capacity of tilapia to adapt to a wide range of environmental situations surpasses the practically all other fish species. It is precisely this capability that has resulted in their being used as an important food source in many tropical countries, where there are now farm-like carp trout in Europe and North America. Tilapia, the second most common farm-raised fish in the world. The development of quality broodstock is one of the key in the success of intensive tilapia farming. Three-way crossing of different species of tilapia is usually done. The species that are most commonly reared in aquaculture are in genus Orychromis. These include the night tilapia, Orychromis niloticus, the Mozambique tilapia, Orychromis mozambicus, the blue tilapia, Orychromis aureus, and Orychromis hornolus. The main objective of broodstock development is to tailor fit the condition of the existing water of the farm, temperature, environmental and nutritional requirements to achieve the maximum growth rate from fry to starter size the shortest time possible. Record keeping of the length-weight relationship, growth rate potential to eggs is a must to every farm. By religiously monitoring and recording this important data will be your barometer in the eggs production during spawning. In industrialized tilapia farming, breeders should produce uniform offspring, meaning like growing only one or two tilapia which numbers a million. Male and female tilapia are meticulously inspected by the highly trained technician. The female tilapia are separated from the male and put into conditioning tank, thus triggering gonadal attrition. Being able to do synchronous spawning, production of eggs is maximized. Broodstock are always maintained on high protein diet to maintain production of quality eggs, thus resulting to healthy fry. Male tilapia begins courtship display in front of the female. Only the male takes an initiative in courtship, while the female plays merely a passive role. Female tilapia responded to courting. Male banded monogamous remain together until the fertilized eggs is picked up by the female, and male tilapia will immediately look for another female and will readily mate again. Almost all tilapia are mouth brooders, where one of the parents takes up the eggs into its mouth for hatching. Cannibalism between fingerlings and fry are high among tilapia. The fingerlings will eat anything alive that is near eating fry. The female tilapia looks after the fry until they are able to swim around independently. The female tilapia will open her mouth as a refuge whenever any danger threatens the young. The spawning pond sex ratio is 1:3. Tilapia eggs are collected from the mouth of the female tilapia for artificial incubation. Bear in mind, the production of eggs in intensive tilapia farming is stronger than grow out of tilapia. The accurate record of spawning are very important in investigating the environmental or behavioral requirements needed for successful production of eggs may depend on being able to replicate these special circumstances that trigger spawning are multifactorial, consisting perhaps of combination of factors such as water temperature, presence of natural food for the survival of the fry, photoperiod and change in water chemistry. The female tilapia where eggs are collected are transferred to conditioning tank in preparation for another spoon. Reproductive success or hatchability must be done within age classes among fish of similar sizes. Breeders should produce 80 to 100% male offspring, and sex reversal should not be more than 20%. Tilapia hatchery. Collected tilapia eggs are immediately processed by highly trained technicians for artificial incubation. Environmental changes plays a direct part in the levels of stress level, and the acclimatization to hatchery water conditions should be done gradually. Unwanted debris, scales and fingerlings are carefully separated from the eggs and fried. Continuous supply of clean water with a constant temperature between 26 and 28 degrees centigrade is maintained within the hatchery. Hot fry are carefully separated from the eggs before pouring the eggs in the incubator jar. The most common method of incubating tilapia eggs is in modified McDonald jar. The jar is a tube within a tube designed to allow circulating water to enter the bottom of the jar to keep the eggs in circular motion without carrying eggs out of the jar. Newly hatched swim-up fry are carried out of the jar by the upwelling water currents. Unhatched and hatched eggshells are immediately removed to prevent any contamination of water, which will be the cause of disease. This to ensure the survivability of the newly hatched fry. Once the fries start feeding, they are fed with high-protein diet every 2 hours. Any uneaten food and waste are immediately removed from the tank. fry or move to 30-footer circular tank where natural food is also available, they are still maintained on high-protein diet. Water suitable for growing fish or tilapia is a complex soup consisting of gases, minerals, solids, and many different organisms. The combination of proportions of these components and the resulting levels of, for example, acidity, alkalinity, hardness, salinity, and nitrogen for the type of fish you want to grow are vital for the long-term health of your tank. So managing the water chemistry of your tank involves first designing your tank from the outset with the correct basic materials, and then what source of water you're going to use, the amount of water and its availability, and then monitoring water quality regularly so that you can spot the correct problems very early on. On this way, fish and other inhabitants will not be subjected to any significant stress. It's true to say that the health of any fish is closely related to the health of its environment. The big concrete circular tanks, the water stage, and natural foods are food tube. Once the fingerlings reach the 10 grams weight and length of 1 inch, they are weighed and sampled in preparation for transfer to grow out tank. Same age and sizes should be observed the date when it was transferred. What tank should be recorded, and every 2 weeks the growth rate should be monitored. Acclimatization to water condition and tank environment should be done gradually. This is an SOP in every transfer of fish. Fish, like all animals, require a well-balanced diet including protein, carbohydrate, fat, vitamins, and minerals. In intensive tilapia farming, feed, especially the high protein needed for growth, comprise the starter size comprises 30 to 60% of the total operating costs of intensive tilapia farming. The efficiently growing natural food that contains the much needed protein for growth will greatly reduce the expenses for manufactured fish meals, especially the expensive high protein feeds. Dissolved oxygen, pH, ammonia, and nitrite is checked daily, including the water temperature of the tank on different places. Feeding of supplemental protein diets and maintaining every day to assure their target date of marketable size is achieved. Continuous supply of water coming from geothermal deep well is maintained. These are some of the environmental requirements needed by tilapia to stay healthy. Hard alkaline water, 250 milligrams per liter calcium carbonate. Constant temperature of 26 degrees centigrade with a pH range of 8.6 to 9.2. Remember that the grow-out tank used in growing fish in aquaculture has no legal ecosystem balance. Grow-out tank controlled environment, focus on dissolved oxygen, waste management and levels, ability of water to ionization. Starter-sized tilapia are harvested and transferred to high stocking density circular tank. The starter size are transferred to the grow-out tank for marketable size tilapia. 100-footer concrete circular tank with a high stocking density. A 5-horsepower padding wheel is kept running 24/7. Demand feeders are used for feeding tilapia. It delivers the feeds through continuous trickles of a small amount of feeds due to the pendulum-like movement created by the water current. Circular tanks used in intensive tilapia farming are self-cleaning, flushing of the accumulated waste in the center of the tank should be done regularly to maintain the healthiness of the water suitable for growing tilapia. Only the locally grown tilapia can supply the live market and can supply the needed demand of the market today. After all the money and time is spent in growing tilapia to market size, a very efficient grading and harvesting system that minimizes stress and will not damage the scales and mucus of tilapia should be taken in serious consideration. By every tilapia farm selling their produce live to the end consumers. Stocking density level circular tank containing marketable size tilapia is being prepared for harvesting. Harvesting grading system I designed for circular tank exceeded the farm expectation and proved to be significantly less traumatic to tilapia harvested for market. By minimizing stress and damage to scales and mucus, you produce a high-quality tilapia uniform in size and a consistent product that can demand a competitive price. Tilapia remain calmly in the water while the smaller fish swim through the smooth surface of the grading bars, and the marketable size starter waves do not scrape the scales or the mucus. The harvesting grading process needn't be unduly stressful or physically traumatizing to the workers or tilapia. Taking control of the grading process, you deliver more fish because you can sort more tilapia with less time and labor. Do in few hours what took all day to do before. Holding tank for tilapia ready for market. Early morning loading is done since water temperature is lower and favorable to fish. Transporting your produce to outlet can be extremely stressful. Water temperature, dissolved oxygen, and ionized ammonia. and other ways that may contaminate and affect the quality of water inside your transport tank should be always monitored along the way. Delivery of live tilapia to outlet is twice a week. You must have a very good transport system in your delivery. The storage system of live market in the United States is an aquarium, and the outlet only orders the amount needed to be consumed 3 to 4 days. The total health, wholesome appearance, and survivability of tilapia inside the aquarium of the outlet where they display or produce will dictate its desirability to the end consumers. United States market has the most demanding consumer. They want quality produce, tastier and safer fish to eat. The price they're willing to pay to ensure what they're eating is beneficial to their health and well-being.